next on Life Trends.
So today with me is Mr. Dennis Addo. He's an innovator, a physician, an entrepreneur, and also the CEO of Claron Health International and the past president of the Rotary Club. Let's talk about the Claron Health International.
The human body is like a car. To think about it, as a car moves, you have to go for servicing. Some of the challenges I think and I believe is also being able to relate to patients.
Welcome to another exciting edition of Life Trends here on Goldern TV. My name is Frida Achampon, your host. Yes, on Life Trends, we bring you inspiring and motivational messages from your role models. Today's episode is going to be exceptional, but before that, let's go for a quick break. We'll be right back. Welcome back from that quick commercial break. It's still Life Trends here on Goldern TV. Please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. So today with me is Mr. Dennis Addo. He's an innovator, a physician, an entrepreneur, and also the CEO of Claron Health International and the past president of the Rotary Club. Mr. Dennis Addo, you're welcome to Life Trends.
Thank you.
Okay, so can you give us a little background about yourself?
Okay, so I'm Dr. Dennis Addo. I'm a physician specialist and I'm the CEO and founder of Claron Health International and also Wala Digital Health. So basically, I grew up in Kumasi and in Ashanti region.
Okay.
And I went to Okukuwari School, and afterwards I went to the University of Science and Technology where I did my medical education. And then I went to work in the villages in Afram Plains. I don't know whether you know Afram Plains in Donko.
Okay,
Donko Krum in Afram Plains, and afterwards came to join the military.
Wow.
As a young doctor. We traveled all over for peacekeeping operations to Lebanon, to Congo, and other parts of the world. And after 10 years of working in the military, I got bored. I wanted to become an entrepreneur and start my own business. So I did that. I started Claron Health International, which is aiming to be one of the biggest healthcare brands in the world and be in other African countries as well. Been doing that for the past 5 years.
Wow.
And also last year, took a break, went back to school at Harvard University in the US, and then I'm back to grow and expand Claron. So basically that's a bit about me, yes.
Okay, excellent. So growing up as a young boy, what were some of your challenges?
Yes, I think some of the challenges, I remember even in Kumasi, there were not enough parks where children can go and experiment and grow and also be able to be more creative. This came up because when I traveled to the US, I realized that kids at a younger age are given the opportunity to explore, to be able to do a lot of things. But we don't have those parks, and we also don't have those environments and amenities that get kids to be able to grow and expand as well and their potential.
Yeah.
Again, as well, I think growing up is more like a hustle. There's not a lot of reading spaces. I remember a lot of us have to crowd as the library center in Kumasi to be able to read, and people can even keep books for a long time before you can get your chance to read. So I believe these are some of the challenges that we faced as growing up as kids. Yes.
And some people even tear some pages and then take it
Exactly,
home.
some of the books, and then they'll hide it
Yes.
for weeks and months, and you haven't brought it, and you are hustling to grow. So I think these were some of the things if you compare to other countries where there's an enabling environment for children to explore. It's really lacking here. So you have to be monotonous and in one unidirectional. Also, sometimes you don't have a lot of role models that you aspire to. A lot of people are sort of one way in their thinking and the way they do things. So, if you don't get exposed to maybe reading yourself, you'll be where you are and you may not be able to aspire to do more, yes.
Was it always your dream to study medicine?
Not really. I wanted to be a businessman and finance, but parents always want to push their children in the direction of to do medicine. So my mom was like, once you do medicine, you always have a ready job for life. So he managed to convince me through negotiations back and forth, and I accepted to do. But Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
So how do you manage health with entrepreneurship?
Yes, I think it's a bit of a challenge. For me, I've worked as a doctor for almost 15 years now. Like I said, I've worked in the military, traveled all over the world, and saving lives, doing humanitarian work, and also doing clinics for people in war-torn zones. Even in Ghana, I've also worked in rural areas, Kintampo, Franklin. So I think for me, I've done a lot. I've worked in the public service. Currently, I even serve on the board of the National Health Insurance Authority as a board member. So I feel like I've done that, but then there's a bigger opportunity to do something better in the private sector, to build something unique. People are looking for something unique. People's time are wasted when they go to hospitals, so they're looking for a unique experience. And with COVID-19, you realize that you need to do something more digital and add technology to healthcare. So I think that is the future, to be able to do this, employ more people, and make sure that we are delivering the best quality healthcare, not just in Ghana, but all over in Africa as well. Yeah.
Thank you very much. So Mr. Dennis Addo has said a lot. Let's go for a quick break. We'll be right back. You're welcome again.
Thank you.
So please, why did you decide to join the Rotary Club?
All right, so I think it started right from secondary school. Typically in secondary school, there's a junior version of the Rotary Club called Interact Club. So I think in Opokuari School, we had an Interact Club. That's what I joined, because we wanted to do some service in the community around. So typically in the community, we go around to make sure that there's, number one, there's cleanliness in the community, and also do service projects in terms of maybe helping to build schools, helping to sort of vaccinate people. So that's what we started with, and then we continue when I went to Tech, and at Tech we have what we call the Rotaract. And the Rotaract is a higher version of the Interact clubs, and again it's the same concept, to do good within the campus, plant trees, and do a few projects that will help to bring students together. So that is how it started. And then of course after school, when I started working, and I joined the Rotary, the main Rotary. Now the whole idea of Rotary is for professionals who come together to give their time, their talent, that's their profession, and then their money to help. So for instance, if you have 1,000 cedis, there's so little you can do. But if you have 1,000 cedis, I have 1,000, so many people have 1,000, you put it together, you can do so much. You understand, when we come together to serve. And again, it's also a group of professionals. So aside also giving back to the society, you have this solid network of people that if you need help, somebody is a doctor, somebody is a lawyer, an accountant, you all help each other in a way. So I think it's a very powerful network to do good in the society, and also network among yourselves. And the word Rotary comes from rotation, and that's how it started, Rotary. So when they started, they used to meet at each other's house. Of course, now you can't do that, but then it's a way of bringing people together to meet, to share ideas, and to do humanitarian work in the community.
So can a market woman join? Because myself, I don't have that much money, and you spoke about professionals. So maybe in a market woman.
No, anybody can join Rotary. It's all about your commitment and your passion to serve. Yeah, so you don't need to be like in a formal job. You have people who are doing a lot of informal jobs. As long as you're able to, there are two main commitments: to be able to pay your dues. So typically in a year, you're talking about maybe some people pay $100 for the whole year, which I think a lot of people can afford. And then of course, you also be able to have time. You should be able to come for meetings, maybe weekly, for your club, and also commit. The goal of Rotary is not just to give money, but to be physically present and do the work. So for instance, when I was club president, we did a community project where we want to keep Accra clean. So we put bins across the ring road, and we are physically there to do cleaning on the Saturdays to make sure the community is clean, like lead by example. So it's not just about donating, but you have to also give your time. As a doctor, we've done a lot of medical outreaches where I had to lead and also see the sick and the needy in the society. So if you're able to do that, if you're able to give time, that you can definitely be a member of Rotary. Yes. You're
really doing a lot, Dr. Addo. But do you also travel outside the country when we speak of Rotary Club?
Yes, we do conventions once every year. It's an international convention where Rotarians from all over the world. We have Rotarians in almost every country in the world. We meet together to share ideas. There's something we call Project Bank and the House of Friendship, where people come and then exchange ideas, make friends from all over the world, and also compare notes on what kind of projects you are doing in your community and learn from each other. And I think what unites everybody from all over the world is a common goal, is service. Service above self and service to the community, yes.
During your time of office, what were some of the benefits?
Yes, so like I already mentioned, one of the big things we did was to keep Accra clean. Remember, the president has declared that Accra is very dirty, and one of the goals was to keep Accra clean. So that we partnered with Accra Metropolitan Assembly to do the Cleaner Accra campaign. What we did was to put bins at vantage points and for people to come in. Another important thing is, typically we neglect the disabled in our society. So what we did was that we bought and then also brought in clutches and other walking aids for disabled. We distributed to more than 50 hospitals in Ghana for the disabled to join as well. We also, there's an orphanage at Sotum where we also help them. It's called the Crescent Orphanage. We build like a mini clinic for them to be able to go when they are sick and all that. And of course, these and many other projects that we did to uplift the living standards of people in our communities where we find ourselves.
Okay. And many people put rings on their fingers just to scare people away. I can see a ring on your finger. So let me ask you, are you married?
Definitely. I'm married and I have 2 kids, 1 boy and 1 girl, 7 and 8 years old, yes.
And how do you manage your relationship with work?
Yeah, I think it's about making time. I think you have to plan ahead of time. Typically, people say they don't have time, but I think if you can make time by scheduling it. If you don't schedule, you can't do it. So if you say you're going to have a family time, then it must be on your calendar so that you know it's between 6 and 9 is a family time. You're spending time with the family. That promotes more bonding, and you make sure that it happens, not just also say it and not make it happen. So once you schedule it, then it's going to happen. It's a conscious effort to do it. Without that, it's not going to happen. Yes.
Thank you. It's still Life Trends. Let's go for a quick break. Welcome back, Dr. Dennis Addo. Let's talk about the Claron Health International. You being the CEO, how did you start?
Yes, so like I mentioned earlier, working in the military, working in the villages and rural areas, I noticed that people really don't take good care of their health. I don't know whether you yourself have done a medical checkup the whole year. It doesn't matter how old you are, how young you are. You're supposed to do medical checkup once a year. People don't do that. So you realize somebody will suddenly, my uncle just passed away, and they blame witches. My mother just passed away, and it's the witches, right? So it's really the same story, but it's all because people don't check their health. The human body is like a car. So think about it. As a car moves, you have to go for servicing, right? It's the same thing for the human body. You also have to check once a year, because things are not the same. As you are growing, things change. So you have to check from your head to your toe. You check your liver, your kidney, you check your blood pressure, your blood sugar, check your weight and all that. And if anything is going wrong, then the doctor would advise you. So that was the whole concept and philosophy, that let's build a medical system or medical infrastructure that has prevention at the core of it. So Claron, our motto is promoting health and prolonging life. And the goal is to make sure that we incorporate prevention in everything we do. So we do a lot of medical checkups for companies. Vodafone, Stanchart, Barclays, and so many other companies. We've done medical checkups for their staff once a year. And then a lot of things have been found when a lot of people have come to appreciate it, because if it's about being on the crossroad or the tipping point, and if this is found, for instance, your BP might be 140/80, which is more like a border point. And if you continue to live the same lifestyle, you become hypertensive. You have to take drugs for life, right? So the key is that if you're able to do this, even check your BP and you know, then we'll put you on rigorous lifestyle change, exercise, diet, and other things. That will make sure, even people don't know that eating a lot of salt can get you to get your BP to go up. So these are little things that can help you to live longer. So our average lifespan in Ghana is not as high in Western countries.
Yeah.
By taking these lifestyle measures, you can grow. So that is the concept that we started Claron. So prevention, if it's not, we don't want to treat you, we don't believe in just that, we believe preventive medicine sells, and that is what has been our success story over the years.
Okay, someone will say 2020 has been a year of coronavirus moment. Okay, so what has Claron done, or what are some of the measures Claron has put in place for COVID-19?
I think COVID-19 has really been devastating. A lot of people's lives have turned upside down. So the first thing we did was, I think, even for our staff, I mean, we didn't want to lay anybody off, but what we did was to make sure that we sort of put arrangements in place to make sure that we do shift systems. So some were coming in at intermittent times.
Okay.
And another thing is that we did educational videos. So if you go to our YouTube channel for Claron right now, you see educational videos. We have over 20 videos educating people on how to wash their hands, number one, how to wear a face mask, and even if you are entering your office, what are the precautions you put in. It's all about education, and I think that is what we didn't do in the beginning, but gradually as we started doing the education, a lot of people started to get to understand, and also a lot of misinformation around. Just like when Ebola came, there's a lot of misinformation. The same in COVID. People have so many misinformation. Some even don't know about the virus. They want to know what causes the virus, what they are supposed to do, and then people are anxious. People are at home. They don't know what to do. They want a lot of information. That's what we did to educate the public about COVID and some of the things that you can do to prevent it. So look, COVID is not going anywhere. It's come to stay. It's going to take a long time before you find a vaccine. But the key is to allay the fears of people by giving them all the information that they need and the prevention measures they can take. Yes.
Good. What are some of the challenges as a doctor?
Yes, some of the challenges I think and I believe is also being able to relate to patients. I think a lot of people really don't understand. Unlike Western countries, people read a lot. So even before they come to see you as a doctor, people understand. I like people who come and then they understand a lot about their condition. Then we can have a dialogue and interactions. I know a lot of our colleague doctors don't want that. Some doctors, when you go and you start even speaking, they get annoying. I think it started from the fact that there are a lot of the doctor-patient ratio was high. Sometimes one doctor used to see so many people and they get tired, but I think it's changing. So I think some of the challenges, people don't read about their health. And I think if people read about their health, I think it will help a lot to make things better as well. And also I think whilst working in the public sector, one of the things was infrastructure was not there. The things you needed to do your work was missing. And that's these are the things that wanted to change to make things better as well. Yes.
Okay, so let's switch to your hobbies. Tell us.
Yes, one of the things I do is I love to play golf.
Wow.
So it's something, it's not just for networking or anything, but it's a mental game. So as you play, you are calculating where to shoot and where to direct the ball. So I like the way you're applying, you're working, you're exercising, but you're also applying your brain, thinking mentally. So golf is one of the things I do. I also love to run. I run every morning. I jog for about 30 minutes minimum every day, and it's something that keeps me healthy as well. Yeah. Okay.
Speaking of golf, let me ask you this: is it true that billionaires play golf?
Not at all. I mean, the kits and the things that you use, the clubs are a bit expensive, but I don't think it's for billionaires. Of course, the registration and all, but it's all about the mindset that if this is what you want to do, then you can. Maybe even if you have to buy, you keep buying it bit and bit. By the time you realize you have a full set of stuff that you need to be able to play. I don't think it's for billionaires at all. It's just a matter of changing your mindset and know that this is what you are determined to do. Yes. Okay,
so viewers out there, you heard what doctor said. Golf is not only for billionaires. If you're a shoemaker and you want to play golf, you're allowed to play.
Yes,
right?
Definitely.
So what advice do you have for the upcoming generation and then those who look up to you?
Yes, I think one of the advice I would love to give to people is to, I mean, success can be achieved in so many dimensions, but I think right from the start, we need to change our mindset. We need to be more focused. I think we waste a lot of time on trivialities, a lot of things that doesn't edify us as human beings and also as even as Ghanaians. So I think one of the things, even as young people, is focus on things that will get you to excel. I mean, things like reading and researching and things that will add value to your life. So every day you have to ask yourself, at the end of the day, what value did you add to yourself today? Are you a better person today compared to yesterday? And for me, if people are able to do that, ask themselves these questions every single day, that's the way to achieve progress and success. Yeah.
Before you go, please, are you a Christian?
Yes.
So being a Christian, what advice do you have for those who just go to church every day and then wouldn't work?
That's definitely you won't get benefit. It's not necessarily only being a Christian or even a Muslim. I think it's about commitment. Everything you put you want to, you have to be 100% committed. So if you're a Christian, you have to be 100% committed. And Christianity is not just going to church. It's about what you do with your life. Every single moment, the things you do to help others. I mean, Rotary people do a lot to help community. So if you go to church and sit there every day and you don't help your brother when they are in need, then you're not practicing Christianity. So I think that's what you're doing. So wherever religion, whatever you do, it's about 100% committing to what you're doing will help. Yes.
Please, your final words.
So my final words is to continue to, let's be each other's keeper. Let's help build a strong, healthy society. I think there's a lot of potential in Ghana. We just have to be focused and then be able to build a society that all of us want to live in. All right.
Thank you so much, Dr. Addo, for honoring our invitation.
All right. Thank you also for inviting me. All right.
Okay, so that was Dr. Dennis Addo, an innovator, entrepreneur, a physician, and also the CEO of Claron Health International and the past president of the Rotary Club. It was nice talking to you here on Life Trends on Goldern TV. My name is Frida Achampon. It's a bye for now.